everybody? Anthony Jr. here. So excited to have you back tuned into the safety realm by this YouTube video. Please remember to like, favorite, subscribe, share this video with a friend. Also, please hit me up on my email if you all have any questions in regards to safety and health. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. In this video, what I'm going to be talking about is actually how to look up what is called, remember on the last video, I said it's called now a safety data sheet or a safety data sheet. Doesn't matter. Y'all know people use words differently and interchangeably, but let's just go with safety data sheet right now. I'm going to show you all how to look up a safety data sheet so that you can get more information about this specific wood cleaner here. And actually, before we get into that, let's talk about the actual bottle itself. A lot of times there are two things that actual chemical bottles will come with. They usually will come with the ingredients that makes up the actual chemical itself. And then it will give also what is called a precautionary statement or a caution statement. So let's look at this one. It says, keep out of the reach of children. And if the product gets in your eyes, to wash thoroughly with water. So don't have anybody blowing in your eyes thinking the chemical is somehow going to get out. You have to flush it with water. And then it says, if swallowed, drink plenty of water. So those are the cautionary statements. Keep it out of your eyes and basically don't swallow it. But if something happens to where someone was to ingest this chemical, to drink plenty of water. Now let's get into the actual safety data sheet for this wood cleaner.
All right, everyone. So I am here looking at what is called a safety data sheet. I'm highlighting it for you all so you can see. And that's basically what I'm looking at. So this is what an actual safety data sheet looks like. And for this specific product, it is the wood cleaner that I just spoke to you all about on the last clip. So now let's go to section 1. Section 1 is right here. And we're going to read and look at this here. Let me zoom in for you. Now, as you can see, the first section is all about the product identification and being able to identify the actual product in the company. So as you can see, the product name is wood cleaner, and then they also have a synonym. A synonym or synonyms is just another term that may be used to be able to identify a specific cleaning product. Now, the main thing in this section that I want to talk about is there are certain instances, and here's one, where you don't necessarily have a product number. A lot of the chemicals that I've looked up in the past usually have some type of product number to be able to distinguish that specific product from other products for that specific company that may kind of relate to each other or may have some slight differences, so that you can get a specific chemical by that specific identification number. But for this one, you only have what we see here as the product name, and then you see the wood cleaner on the right hand side. So let's proceed forward. Now you also see that they have hazard identifications and the classification of this specific chemical. You have US and then Canada, and I will let you all read through that. And then you have the composition information and the ingredients involved with this specific chemical. So here where you see ingredients at to the far left column, you see it has sodium, it has a whole lot of words that I honestly just cannot pronounce because I just don't use them in the English language all the time. But you can get all of your information and ingredients for that specific chemical for this wood cleaner right here. And then you have the first aid measures. Now, most people, when they are trying to get information on chemicals, there's usually a few things they're looking for. It's usually what the chemical has in it, what's hazardous about the chemical, is it flammable, is it toxic, does it have any acid or anything like that. And you'll get a lot of that information from looking at the composition and the information on the ingredients of that chemical. And then you can go here to the first aid measures to find out what do you do in case you are you get the chemical in your eyes or on your skin. So let's look here where it says in section 4, first aid measures. It says eye contact. What do you do if you get this specific chemical product in your eyes? It says flush your eyes with water immediately after contact and then call a physician if irritation develops or persists. Then with skin contact, it says rinse thoroughly with water. If skin contact occurs, call a physician if irritation develops or persists. So if it just keeps coming up and keeps happening, basically go see a doctor. And then it says if you were to ingest this, and on this product, actually, if you look at a lot of the labels, when you physically have the actual products in front of you, it will usually say something in regards to keep out of the reach of children. And the reason why is because children, their brains aren't developed for them to really know what is drinkable and what's not drinkable. So here it says for ingestion, it says drink 4 to 8 ounces of water or milk immediately. If prolonged nausea or pain occurs, then call a doctor. And then for inhalation, if you have some type of respiratory, let's say some type of issues with your breathing, it says if irritation occurs, remove to fresh air. If breathing is affected, call a physician. So they have all of these different ways of being able to aid yourself or to treat yourself when dealing with these specific first aid measures. Let's continue. Now, section 5. And here is section 5. Just want to make sure you all are still following along. It talks about the firefighting measures, section 6. And I'm not going to go through all of these in detail. I just really want to show you the things that most people look for. Section 6 is the accidental release measures. And then you have the handling of the specific chemical, how it should be handled in a household setting, in an industrial setting, and so forth. Exposure control and personal protection. Talks about the household settings, engineering controls, and all of that. Eye protection, wear goggles, and things like that. It has that information. And then you have physical and chemical properties of that specific chemical, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So this is the 1 to 16 section format that I was talking about with the hazard communication standard. And it stops at section 16. And this is what is called, again, a safety data sheet. And I'm going to highlight that again for you all here. And that is what I have been talking about in the past few podcasts that I've done, and also on the past 2 YouTube videos that I've done. So this is a safety data sheet. I hope that this information blesses you all and helps you all. This information is here for the consumer, not necessarily just for the people working in a work environment, but it is here for the consumer. So if you are someone who handles chemical products, this specific video is for you, so that you can make sure that you get the information that you need to protect yourself, your co-workers, the people that live in your household, your children, husband, wives, family members, and loved ones. All of this information that I just went over is for you. So with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Want to say God bless you all. Please remember to subscribe and send this video to a friend if they want to know how to look up a safety data sheet or what a safety data sheet looks like. And also remember, some chemical products have the actual product number and some don't. So sometimes you just have to go off of the actual product use in the product name. With that being said, I'll holler at you ladies and brothers later. Peace.